Please rise for pledge and prayer. Commissioner Briggs.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to gather today. Please be with us and provide us guidance and wisdoms as we make decisions for the benefit of our county. Lord, as we prepare for the upcoming Christmas season, let us be mindful of the many blessings that we have, and let us be mindful that those that are in need need us each and every day, and that we may do your will here on earth to help those in need. And bless the many organizations that are already reaching out, and the many that will between now and Christmas. Lord, please bless President Biden, bless our Congress, bless Governor Holcomb, state legislature, Mayor Moore, his administration, this body, county government, and all the citizens of Howard County. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. All righty. Any special announcements or recognitions today?
Make sure that we there are.
Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been properly made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion has carried. Let's go ahead and the first item up is the Public Defender Executive Appointment, which I don't think Andy's here today, but he did send over for the appointment of Larry Merle. And so I would entertain a motion to appoint Larry Merle to the Public Defender Board.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been properly made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has carried. Mr. Sheline?
Good afternoon. I have two items before you that are both on the same parcel, so I think we can do them together if you'd like.
Wonderful.
I have a one-lot subdivision and rezoning. This is at 10745 West, 250 South. The rezoning is from agricultural to rural residential, and we had no remonstrance at the meeting.
Very good. Chair will entertain a motion to approve case 12, CZ 2022. And you said you wanted to do the subdivision at the same time, might as
Yeah,
well.
if you're okay
And
with
also
that.
case 11 CP 2020, or 22. Entertain a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been properly made and seconded to approve both cases, one for rezoning and the other for the subdivision. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to be heard on either of these cases? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion has carried.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thanks, Greg. Three sections. One is there. All right, Mr. Duncan.
I don't see him.
Uh-oh. Carrie, would you run over there and let them know, if you'd be so kind? I'd appreciate that. Just let them know if they still want to be on, come on back. Kathy, Miss Cullison, come on down. Oh, Judge Murray, the Honorable Judge Murray. What a great day this is.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, Judge.
Ladies and everyone. Great to be here. Before Kathy speaks, I wanted to take an opportunity, since there's going to be and is a change of the guard with the Robert J. Kinsey Youth Center. And as you know, it is a place in which services and rehabilitation, safety for our youth here in Howard County, as well as many as more than 45 other counties in Indiana have used the center since it opened in '93. With Mr. Lipinski's retirement after almost 30 years plus 30 years of both service and leadership, that's some big shoes to fill. But I wanted to at least introduce to the commissioners that I have full confidence and ability of these two ladies here that I wish to briefly introduce, who will be assuming the top management positions at the Kinsey Youth Center. First is Kathy Cates Cullison, who has been appointed as director. Kathy has a master's of social work from IU. She has a total of 36 years' experience in working with troubled youth and the Kinsey Youth Center since 1996 as clinical supervisor and program director, and the last 9 years as the assistant director. She's also a licensed clinical social worker, clinical addictions counselor, and a juvenile sex offender counselor. Second young lady I'd like you to meet is Michelle Agee. And Michelle has been appointed to serve as the assistant director for the Kinsey Youth Center. And she has worked at our youth center since 2014 as a youth manager supervisor and JDAI coordinator. Michelle will be receiving her master's in criminal justice from Southern New Hampshire University next month in January of 2023.
Fantastic.
So with those introductions, I'll turn it over to Kathy, who's going to talk to you about some other issues.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Well
appreciate
deserved.
that.
Well
Thank you
deserved.
very much. What we have to bring before you today is fairly simple. I've taken an average of all the detention centers who participate in IJDA, which is the Indiana Juvenile Detention Association, and came up with a new figure for our daily per diem for our secure detention facility. We currently charge $137 a day, and obviously our operating costs are increasing fairly significantly with current inflation, gas prices, food prices, et cetera. With that in mind, we came up with a figure, Jeff and I did, of $147 a day, which is approximately 7%, which is approximately what the current, I've lost my words, the current rate of inflation is in Indiana. So it made sense, and it was interesting that it also was the average of those detention centers and what they are charging. The highest being $209 a day. The lowest, I believe, is $125 a day, or something very close, $120 a day. So with that in mind, we're seeking the approval of the commissioners to raise those prices.
What was the highest?
209. And I believe that that is a secure facility in southern Indiana that I believe has actually closed.
And what's the final number you'll be on?
$147 a day.
Any other questions?
So you said the average was 147,
That's correct.
and that's across the state?
Yes.
And Judge, you're okay with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Do you actually have a written proposal that you need us to sign or anything, or are we just gonna pass it and then you guys will just implement it?
Correct.
Okay, very good.
Alan, do we need something in writing to increase that?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. All right, the Chair will entertain a motion to establish $147 per day as the per diem as requested.
I'll make the motion to increase the per diem rate up to $147 per day.
I will second that.
Motion's been properly made and second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has carried. Thank you.
Thank you very
Great
much
job.
for your time.
Welcome. Congratulations to both of you. All righty. Mr. Lake. Did you guys still want to do the Mendenhall Fast Track Reconstruction Fund?
Yes, I apologize, I wasn't aware we were presenting that today.
Are you ready for it, or do you want to go in 2 weeks?
Nope, we're ready for it.
Let's do it.
What this is for is it's a escrow account for a fast track reconstruction that is put on, paid for by landowners. And to get landowners to buy into the concept, they all put their money into an escrow account. So this is a way we can help facilitate getting some drains done at a much lower cost to the county. So we've done this through several different projects. Now we have a method to get it accomplished more frequently.
Fantastic. Do we actually have the ordinance? I do. Thank you. So this would be ordinance number 2022 BCCO 52, and it's an ordinance of the Howard County Board of Commissioners to create the new grant fund. Is there any further questions for Greg? Appreciate your work on this, and it's a great process. So is there anybody from the audience that wishes to be heard on this? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? You motioned that, and you seconded it.
I'll second it.
Bad to Jack on that one.
You had us confused.
I had that black book, Paul. I was like, okay. Hey, you're the guy that teaches
I know, right? How funny is that? That's great. Yeah. We got where we needed to be, right?
Appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. Let's go ahead and move to Mr. Stone Street.
Good afternoon. These are three less than exciting things I'd request permission to pay for. If you would like, I can put them all in one big package deal. And
Yes.
if you want to single them out, we can discuss them
No,
at a
no,
time.
no,
The first would be an air compressor purchase for this building. It's from Brehob. It's $4,480. It's a backup compressor. We haven't had one backup here for several years. I definitely want one. So that's a good price, and we'll do the install. The second would be a urinal strainer repair at the courthouse. That would be done by QPH for $2,020. These are, of course, 1936, so I want to be very careful with them and not break them, or we have to rip out the whole bathroom. The last would be window tinting for the new highway windows out there, and there are mornings that it's pretty good glare. So Intense would like to do that project for us for not to exceed $3,000. So to pay for all of this, I like to pay for it from Coomcat Building Repair, 1138.47241, at a cost of not to exceed $9,500 for everything.
All right, you've heard the request. Any questions? Entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion been properly made and seconded to approve the three requests not to exceed $9,500. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is carried.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Appreciate your work. Dustin, there he is.
He's hiding mine.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sir, good afternoon.
Hello.
I'm here to request the approval of the MOU that you received in the email from me. It allows us to use the TREX program to intercept state tax funds for the payment of user fees and restitution within our department. We're looking at moving a lot of our collections into the internal mechanism within the department. We're just not seeing the return on our collections that we're sending out. So we want to try this and see if we can increase our income. I have a copy of the contract with all the appropriate dates and updated. Actually, I have two copies of them for you.
And Alan's reviewed the contract, I assume. Everything's in order? Yes. Very good. All right, do you guys have any questions for Dustin? No. I'm assuming we're the claimant agency? Is that where you want us to sign?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Chair, I'll entertain a motion to approve the MOU and Agreement Association of Indiana County's Tax Refund Exchange and Compliance System.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been properly made and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion has carried. Just make sure the auditor gets, do you want the original or a copy? So if you
That's
just.
fine, I just have to get the
Yeah,
executed copy.
That's
from
fine.
the state.
Yep, yep. As soon as you get it back, scan original or keep a copy, it's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You bet. All right, is there any new business to come before us today? Hearing none, let's move into claims and reports, please. Madam Auditor, salary claims.
$884,346.66.
Move to approve as presented.
Second?
Motion been properly made and seconded to approve the salary claims. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Payroll expense, please.
$884,346.66.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion been properly made and seconded to approve the payroll expense. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has carried. And operating claims, please.
$2,203,291.12.
Move to approve as presented.
Motion been properly made and seconded to pay the operating claims. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion has carried. Any claims to ratify today?
None.
Any monthly reports to receive?
None.
And are there any grants to review?
None.
Thank you all for your work, and I know end of year is a very crazy time for you guys, so thank you to you and your crew. Mr. Wilson.
I have two matters tonight. The first is a renewal of a contract with Natalie Thompson, who assists with the caseload at CASA. It's a one-year contract, similar to what she has already.
Very good. Chair, entertain a motion to renew the contract for Natalie Thompson.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been properly made and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has carried.
The second matter I have is a proposed resolution, as the county is about to receive the first installment of funds from the opioid settlement. We have a resolution that governs distribution, how that money is going to be distributed.
Very good, Madam Auditor. Can I have an ordinance or a resolution number, please? I'm sorry.
(2022-BCCR-23).
Excellent. So what we have before us today, ladies and gentlemen, is a resolution, as Mr. Wilson announced. This is pertaining to the opioid settlement dollars. This is a big day for our community. We're told that the monies will arrive here this Friday, the first installment payment. As you all know, it's an 18-year payout. But the first year will be a larger amount because I believe it was Johnson & Johnson that
Yes.
wanted to try to get as much of this off of their books as they could. And so with that, county government is in a position to ensure that these funds get distributed to organizations in our community that we know are helping on the front lines in battling this epidemic. And many of these organizations, when I read here, you'll understand the important work that they're doing in our community. The settlement dollars must go toward opioid abatement. That's part of the settlement that was reached at the national level, and each one of these organizations has agreed that those dollars will go toward helping individuals and families suffering from addiction pertaining to opioids. And so, as you all know, county government signed on to this lawsuit very early, and now these dollars are in the process of being dispersed to help save lives in our community. And so, Alan, I thank you for your work over the years during this lawsuit, my fellow commissioners for being as involved as they were in this entire process, and many other local units of government across the state of Indiana, and Governor Holcomb and his crew as well. It's been quite a joint effort to get to this point, but we've arrived. And you hope you never have to do something like this, but in this situation, there is no doubt, based on the settlement, that you can see that these companies felt like they had some sort of responsibility to the crisis before us. And so these dollars will be used to help families, and it's an important part of the process. So basically, the resolution goes on to state that for a period of 2 years, the first 2 years, it is resolved that the Board of Commissioners hereby establishes the following distribution of opioid settlement dollars. Turning Point Systems of Care shall receive 63% of settlement funds received for years 22 and 23. Howard County Drug Task Force, that should be Howard County Drug-Free. We'll make that one edit there. Shall receive 13% of the settlement funds received for 22 and 23. Valley of Grace shall receive 8% of the settlement funds, Gilead House 8%, and Family Services Association 8%. And each one of those organizations has been directly involved with us over the years in the fight against this opioid epidemic, and we're confident in the work that they do, and they will work closely with the commissioners and the county over the next couple of years to implement these dollars. Part of this process is that each one of these organizations will report back on an annual basis on how the opioid dollars from this settlement have been spent within their organizations, number of people served, programs established, all of those sorts of things. So there'll be a very stringent reporting process because, these dollars are going to be coming in for 18 years. And this board and county government, and I know the county council as well, will want to ensure that the dollars are being spent as they're supposed to be. One other important thing I'll say about this that I think makes Howard County stand out a little bit. In the national settlement, 15% of the dollars are allowed to be used for whatever. As crazy as that sounds, the lawsuit was over opioids and addiction and all of the horrible things that come along with that. But yet in the national settlement, they found out a way to give government the opportunity to spend 15% on whatever government wants to spend it on. This board, and I know our council, feels like that's inappropriate to take settlement dollars that were designed for people who are suffering and spend them on anything other than the people that are suffering. So in Howard County, we are committing 100% of the opioid abatement settlement dollars to go toward helping individuals and families. We will not use that 15% for any other county government operation. So with that, it's a bittersweet deal when you think about it. You know, you hope that you never have to be in a situation to do this with these kinds of dollars, but I'm thankful that these dollars are here now to start helping families. So with that, a chair will entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2022 BCCR 23.
So moved.
Before I cast a vote, each of these organizations will be required to present a written plan to this board on how they will spend this money. And rest assured that this board will take that plan, look at it, and each year we will expect an accounting from these organizations on how they plan to spend that money. We want to make sure this money is being spent, not that we question it, but just for accounting purposes, we want to make sure this money is being spent appropriately and how they tell us they're going to spend it. And so with that, I will second that motion.
Very good. The motion's been properly made and seconded to pass Resolution 2022 BCCR 23. Is there any further discussion or any comments from the audience regarding this? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I don't think I have to abstain on this one, Alan, but just for the record, since these guys voted yes, I'll just go ahead and abstain, but since it's not tax dollars. All right, with that, Alan, anything else for us?
I think Pam has an appointment she wants to discuss.
Very good. Ms. Isaac?
Good evening, Commissioners. We have several appointments for the 2023 year. First, you have 2 appointments to the Greentown Public Library Board. Cynthia Galford is a reappointment, and Catherine White. Lawrence Merle to the Public Defender Board. Marie Linskog to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Jeff Griffin to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Rita Sale is a reappointment to the Board of Health. And I think that is all. So I need several signatures. Oh, I'm sorry, Jennifer Jack to the Howard County Plan Commission, taking the place of someone who moved into city limits.
Very good. All right, with that, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the appointments as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been properly made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has carried. You're good. Yep, we're good. All right, Ms. Pam. All right. Mr. Dodd, anything for us tonight?
No, sir.
Mr. Bray, anything for us tonight?
Thank you, Pam.
Any public comment to come before us tonight?
Lee Oliver, 5768 West, 00 North South. A few, probably a month and a half ago, I approached you guys about getting public comments, or I'm sorry, public information from the, I'm gonna pass these out, that is afforded to the news media and also to any person asking for, let me just read it here. It says, notice under this subdivision is, in addition to providing notice under subdivision or 1 and 2, the governing body adopts a policy under this subdivision, the governing policy giving public agency to give notice by delivering notice to any person other than news media who delivers the governing body of the public agency an annual written request for the notices not later than December 31st of the succeeding calendar year. So this is kind of your notice that I would like to have, being noticed of any meetings or any thing that goes on after the first year, for the following year. Okay?
All right, thank you, Alan. Take that and review that if you would, okay? Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Public comment, huh?
No, we got on the agenda or not.
Mr.
That's not.
Doug,
So just take it, all right? Yeah, just so the commissioners would know, the insurance committee met November the 22nd to review the employee benefit plans. And we've discussed over the last few years a strategy to improve the benefits to the employees. So we looked at the current $2,500 deductible option, a $1,500 deductible option, and then the $2,000, which the committee recommended the $2,000 deductible option. So we ratchet that down in a more conservative manner. So that was the recommendation for the medical plan. The recommendation, no changes to the dental or vision plans, still with Anthem. And then the employee contribution that the county established over the last few years obviously has worked. The fund balance remains healthy, so the recommendation was to not pass on any increase in contributions towards these plans to the employees. Keep their payroll deductions the same as they have been for 2022. So just kind of wanted to make that official.
May I ask, sir, what is your name?
Doug Heath, Griff Insurance.
I just need it for the record.
Okay.
Very good. The plan management's going very well over the last few years, and, part of the strategy has been to reduce the deductibles and getting back down to more of a manageable level, and that's working. So thank you for your work. Thank you to the insurance committee for their work. Any questions on this? I'm assuming you want a formal approval for that?
Sure.
Might as well have one. So Chair will entertain a motion to approve the changes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been properly made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much.
And when we have the actual paperwork back from Anthem,
Yeah.
it'll probably be at your next meeting, and I'll get that to you in advance. too.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thanks for your work, Doug, and all that too, appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
And to our new HR director too, for all your work in it, so.
You bet. All right, and so, last thing, Jeremy, thank you for your work. Jeremy did some test running for us last month to start streaming live county government council and commissioner meetings, and I think it's going pretty well. And are we live? We're live. We're live.
The main goal to embed it on the county webpage.
Yep.
That part is not working, but there's a link that you can click on, and then this is live right now, and you can go back and see, watch this.
And the link's on the website? Fantastic. Good job. Been working toward that with some technology improvements in the building for, oh gosh, the last 4, 5, 6 months, and it's working out. So thank you, Jeremy. All right, any other questions, comments? Hearing none. Hearing none. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We're going on.